Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, man, I love me some Thanksgiving, you know, because it's a pretty top tier holiday. It's in that prime holiday season time, and it's a time to be with family, but, you know, more importantly, be with good food. Just kidding, it's a joke. If you're my family and you're watching this, you know I love you. Almost as much as the food. But no, seriously, I love Thanksgiving. It just gives me a warm and comfy feeling, just being able to, you know, calm down, relax, just decompress, forget about all your problems, and just be with family for the day. And be with food too. And I know Thanksgiving doesn't exactly have the cleanest origins, but it's no secret that Christmas completely overshadows Thanksgiving each and every year. I mean, I'm filming this video a couple days before Thanksgiving, and my Christmas decorations have already been up for a couple weeks now. I mean, I can't think of any Thanksgiving songs. There aren't any Thanksgiving decorations except for that blow-up turkey that only one person in the whole town seems to have. There aren't any Thanksgiving presents. I mean, they're completely lacking in that area, let's be honest. And there definitely aren't many Thanksgiving movies. And sure, there are tons of movies with Thanksgiving in it, but those are usually just Christmas movies anyways. In terms of movies that are specifically about Thanksgiving, I can't even think of one. And that bothers me, you know? I feel like Thanksgiving deserves a bit more representation in that area. So I did some digging to see if there were any pure Thanksgiving movies that, you know, I could make a tradition out of watching them with my family every year. Who knows? Maybe there are some hidden gems. So, you know, I did some digging, and one movie really caught my eye. My eye was falling, and this movie caught it. And that movie is The Last Thanksgiving. But before we start, I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't ask you guys to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Doing so gets you a Randy seal of approval, which legally makes you better than everybody else. So I mean, you gotta do it. What better gift can you give yourself for the holidays than to be better than everyone? So if you did it, thank you, and enjoy your Randy seal of approval. And if you didn't do it, I hate you. Back to the video. The thing about this movie that really drew me to it is that it isn't what you'd expect from a Thanksgiving movie. Like, it isn't your typical Hallmark movie or like family comedy. It's a slasher. It's a horror slasher movie. I don't know if you guys could tell by the red background today. Very spooky, very ominous. Yeah, it's a horror movie. So, you know, if you think about it, not that far off from the original source material. And, you know, the thing about this movie that really ticks me off is everybody is so dumb in this movie. And, you know, it is a slasher movie, so of course that's to be somewhat expected. But it's not just the victims that are dumb in this movie. No, the killers are just as dumb. And you guys will see what I mean. So ladies and gents, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy together The Last Thanksgiving. But before we do, just a little warning before we get into it. There's like a lot of blood and guts in this movie, so you may see some of that in the video. They look totally fake, and I'm probably gonna be blurring it out anyways so I don't get demonetized. But if you're like really sensitive to that stuff, you may want to steer clear from this video. Okay, let's start. So this movie is set in the happy little town of Pass, which sounds a lot like tear up ass, and I think that's pretty funny. So after about 2 whole minutes of nothing but intro credits, we finally get introduced to our main character, Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie! Lisa Marie! Lisa Marie!
Take me, Jesus.
And I feel like they wrote Lisa Marie to be like your moody, edgy, sarcastic sort of teenage girl, but they really just wrote her as completely unlikable because she's just like unnecessarily rude to everyone. I mean, some might even say she's the B word. Like, I legitimately think there's not one person in this movie that she doesn't have a nasty interaction with, including her boyfriend.
Who made the deviled eggs? I did. They taste iffy.
Maybe drop the mean act once in a while. You can't always be that big of a bitch without a little bit of effort, right?
You can be nice sometimes.
Like my clit, you psychotic cunt!
I don't know, I try to be.
So anyways, our poor Lisa Marie, she's pretty upset because it's Thanksgiving, but she has to work. And you know, it's pretty understandable to be upset. Who wants to work on Thanksgiving? Nobody. But, you know, I guess she works in like retail or someplace that's pretty important if she's working on Thanksgiving. So let's see where she works. Yeah. That's the place that's making her work on Thanksgiving. A run-down diner on the side of the highway. Like, no wonder she's pissed. I'd be pissed too. It's not even like the place is busy. It's completely empty in there. There's not one customer in that diner. Well, except for this lady who comes in a little bit later. But like still, pretty much everybody in that place is just staff doing nothing. And you know what, while we're here, let me introduce you to those guys really quickly. So this is Trudy, and she's basically just Lisa Marie in a different font.
No one gets me.
This is Eddie, he's in love with this guy, Tyler. And this is Mrs. Kim and Miss Perez, who just so happen to be the only two Hispanic people in this movie, and you guessed it, they are the cooks. Very progressive movie it is. And this is Mr. Pearl, the idiot boss who made everyone work on quite literally the slowest day of the year.
If you're going to smoke, please do it behind the restaurant. You're scaring away potential customers.
No, she's not. Oh, and that's his dad. Okay, so now we know everyone. We know all of our victims. So now I think it's time we skip to the next scene and meet some of our killers. And these guys are cannibals. That's their thing. So, you know, they eat people. And we'll see more of them in a second. Really, the only reason I wanted to show you guys this particular scene is for this part right here.
Me.
It just needed a little flavoring.
And what the hell? Like, I get it, they're cannibals and cannibals eat people, but like, they don't eat themselves. Like, if there are any cannibals watching, I know there's at least one, you guys don't find your own blood delicious, right? Or do you guys even find blood delicious at all? Because I always thought that cannibals were just people who enjoyed cooked meals like everybody else, but you know, they just so happen to have a little bit of human in it, right? Like a normal person wouldn't drizzle pig's blood on a sandwich, so is it realistic that a cannibal would drizzle human blood on a sandwich, especially theirs? Like what, just because they're cannibals, they're like cavemen who eat raw meat and guts? No. You know, I think it's about time that cannibals get more respect. I am sick and tired of this offensive way that cannibals have been portrayed in the media, okay? I'm sick and tired of it. And that's why I'm running for president in 2024. Oh, and the killers are all like one family, so these two guys are siblings, but they have like a really weird sexual tension throughout the movie.
That's good.
I'd hope so.
And I don't know what that's about. I'll be honest, I don't know why the writers felt the need to include that in the movie, but I guess when you eat people, all your other morals are kind of thrown out the window. So anyways, the killers head over to the diner to hunt their Thanksgiving dinner. And I want you guys to buckle up, all right? Strap up, because this is where crap starts to hit the fan, and this is where the stupidity kind of starts to go up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So the killers get there, and Kurt, who's kind of like the head honcho of the group, he walks in pretending that he's looking for a job. Like, you know how when you guys are job searching, you walk in through the back door of the building?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a job.
Oh, well then the manager's office is right over there.
Like that. So he goes to meet Mr. Pearl, and you would think that Mr. Pearl would just give him an application, or at least give him like an interview or something like that. Nope, he just hires him on the spot and starts him immediately.
Kurt is interested in a job and needs to shadow someone. So could you take him to one of your tables and show him how it's done?
Which again, you know, it just shows how unfit Mr. Pearl is to run this business. And you know what? It's making me start to resent him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, it's okay, because he dies like 2 minutes later. And this brings me to the first reason why these killers are so dumb. My first critique, if you will. Why in the world would you as a murderer go to an open diner with multiple working employees, aka witnesses, to do your murdering? Like, wouldn't you choose a location that's very secluded, not often visited, to kind of pick off your victims one by one? That just wasn't smart to me. That I give them an F in that category for murdering. Not very smart. But you know, I gotta hand it to him. He's pretty bold for doing that. Like, he's got some really massive balls to try and do that. I wonder if he's ever tried to eat them.
Now over here we have some mushrooms, some black olives, some bacon bits for the mashed potatoes.
Okay, another critique. This is another thing I hate about Kurt. He always goes for a kill like this. And it's not even like a super swift, you know, quick strike, right? No, it's always like a really intense, slow and dramatic rise up like this. And then he just kind of holds it here, hoping that no one interrupts him. or something, and then he goes for the kill. It's like, Kurt, your technique is all wrong, my dude. When you're going for a kill, you just get in and get out, you know? You get in and get out. Like, it literally reminded me of that Jim Carrey karate sketch. It was exactly like that.
Like a lot of beginning students, you attacked me wrong. Oh. You're supposed to come at me like this.
You know what? I would love to see like a super cool and serious assassin movie where Kurt is the main character. I would pay a lot of money to see that. Anyways, now the cogs are slowly moving faster. The killers are really starting to get into motion here. They pick off Trudy. They kill Mrs. Kim in plain sight while everyone just kind of, you know, watches.
Mrs. Kim?
And they also got Mr. Pearl's dad, but he did take one of them down with him, so, you know, good for him. It's equally as funny as it is sad that Mr. Pearl, an old man in a wheelchair, was the smartest and most effective person in this movie. So everyone who's alive, they just all kind of ran into the kitchen and now they're kind of stuck there. And if you're wondering why they didn't just run out of the front door or maybe, hey, fight back against the only 2 people holding knives, I mean, it's not like they were outnumbered. I don't have an answer for you. I don't. It was just stupid. But you know what? They're holed up in the kitchen. The killers can't really get in there. Let's see what our survivors plan to do.
But you're slicing that tomato along with me. Hold up. Come back here.
Oh, I guess cutting tomatoes was their plan?
Everybody, come on, out the kitchen door quick. We can go out the front while he's in the back lot.
Don't you touch him!
Do you guys see what I mean now? By they're very dumb? Okay, so the old customer lady dies, and Lisa Marie finds herself in this very sticky situation with Kurt. But I want you guys to watch what happens here. Yeah, bro, she just punches the crap out of him. And you know what? For as much as I don't like Lisa, or anyone in this movie for that matter, I gotta hand it to her. Good job, Lisa. That was very smart. You know, I think this scene brings up a pretty good question about choking scenes in movies. Why don't more people just punch their attackers? Because like in a lot of those choking scenes, the victim's hands are completely free, but they always have them on their neck for some reason. So like, why don't you just punch your attacker like Lisa did? I don't know. I literally have never thought about that in my life, but if I see another choking scene in like another movie or TV show, that's all I'm gonna be thinking about now. And probably you guys too, so you're welcome for ruining that for you. Okay, so now our victims are completely on the run. Miss Perez is still caught up in the net. Sorry, Miss Perez. But Lisa starts running over to the movie theater that her boyfriend works at, and Eddie and Tyler, they both get in a car and they drive away. You know, you would think that at least one of them would try to go to the police department, but no.
God, she looks like she's in trouble.
Ugh, it's Lisa Marie.
Oh, gross.
So anyways, Eddie and Tyler are just kind of driving around and Eddie tries to call the cops, but his phone has no service.
Fuck! Calm down, Eddie.
How was there no fucking signal?
And you know, you might be thinking, how does his phone have no service? It's not like they're in the middle of the woods or anything. And the answer is simply so that the movie can happen. So anyways, he gives up trying to call the cops and then they just kind of play music instead.
Whatever you need to do to calm down, I'm gonna need you to do it.
But their leisurely drive gets cut short when my boy Kurt hunts them down and he knocks them out.
Hey, where are you going? That's right, sleep. I'm taking you to your new home now.
And I don't know how Kurt himself didn't get knocked out by the gas, because, you know, the window was down and he didn't have a gas mask on or anything, but I guess he's really that guy. There's no other explanation. Okay, so now we have this movie theater chase scene, which I gotta admit, it is kind of cool. It's probably my favorite sequence in the movie just because it feels the closest to like a really good slasher movie. So Lisa runs into the theater looking for her boyfriend, but he's in the projector room. And of course, he's not alone. Our mask killer is in there. So he gets killed, which gives us this shot. And like, That's pretty cool, you know? Like, this movie does suck, but that was a cool shot. I can totally see that type of shot being in like a cult classic slasher movie. And you know what? It very well could be already. I wouldn't know because I don't watch horror movies because they scare me. Anyways, as you might have guessed, Lisa does eventually get captured, which leads to all of our victims waking up here. And I feel like from here on out, the killers are just full on stupid and they just make dumb mistakes. For example, just watch what happens here.
It goes without saying that none of you will ever be seeing your families again. We're gonna give you one last opportunity to tell them how thankful you are for them.
And if any of you say that you're in trouble or start a text, my brother will shoot you in the heart.
Like, hold on. Not only are you voluntarily letting your victims speak to their families, but you had a gun this whole time? Call me boring or whatever. Do what you want. But they could have just shot their victims. I know that might not have been as cool or whatever, but it's clearly the better option. They tried to go old school knife with it, and not only did everyone run away, but one of their own literally died. This is a movie. I know that using a gun isn't as dramatic. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but you know, I just feel like I can make their process so much better, you know? And that's why I'm running for president in 2020. So everyone makes their calls, but Eddie Boy tried to pull a move, so Kurt goes to shoot him, and this happens. And yeah, it sucks that Eddie died and stuff, you know, rest in peace. But did that trap not look suspicious to anyone? Because like, it's obvious that they're just in a normal suburban house. They're not like in a warehouse in the middle of nowhere or something. So you telling me that none of the neighbors thought that the trap suspended on the side of the house didn't look a little suspicious? Nobody thought, maybe let's see what's going on with that? Okay, so Kurt puts his gun away. I'm sure that's not gonna come up again. And then Lisa Marie just quickly says what we're all thinking.
Are you two fucking?
Gross. I mean, he is yummy though, isn't he?
That's disgusting.
And now it's time for the classic backstory monologue. It's time to learn why our killers do this. What is their motivation? What drives them? Why are they killing and eating people on Thanksgiving? Let's see.
We're not evil. We don't do this for ourselves.
We do it for her.
To honor her memory.
Who is she?
An old relative.
Abigail Brimston. One of the passengers on the Mayflower and coordinators of the first Thanksgiving.
Oh, so this is like a Pilgrims are evil cannibals sort of thing. Okay, all right, I get it. A lot closer to the original source material than I thought. So as Kurt and his sister girlfriend are explaining this, Lisa Marie grabs a knife and cuts herself loose, which brings me to my next critique of these killers. Why would you leave sharp objects around your victims? I mean, I feel like that is just killer 101. You don't do that. Like, that just seems like such a simple rookie mistake. And that's already bad enough, but what they do next is even worse. They see that Lisa has cut herself out.
Lisa Marie, what happened to those ropes on your hand,
So they throw her into a closet with one of last year's victims. But they throw in the knife with her? Listen closely, Kurt. Why are you giving your victims weaponry? Why are you doing that, Kurt? And not only is he giving them weapons, he's giving them weapons unattended. It's not like he's still watching them. Like, Kurt, what the hell do you think is gonna happen from that, Kurt? What do you think is gonna result from that, Kurt? Like, at this point, I'm not even invested in the story. I'm just mad that these killers are making such rookie mistakes, and that's coming from me, a guy who's only killed once. I mean, I never killed. I was obviously a joke, guys, obviously. All right, so now there's like 10 minutes left in the movie and things just get really crazy and hectic. So I'm just gonna sum it up for you guys really quick. But just remember, this is a real movie. Somebody wrote this and a studio financed this and shot this and then distributed this, okay? The real movie. Here we go. So Kurt goes back up to open the closet, but then gets tackled by last year's victim, who despite being injured and probably completely malnourished, overpowers Kurt and throws him into a pit of boiling gravy. Yes, you heard me right. You didn't have a stroke. A pit of boiling gravy.
The pit? What's the pit?
The gravy pit.
What's a gravy pit?
I was like, no, like, I finna be in the pit.
Lisa Marie then runs out and goes after the sister girlfriend and kills her with an electric carving knife, which gives us this beautiful shot of the actress playing Lisa being completely grossed out at the amount of blood that's splatting in her face. So then Tyler comes back, but guess what? Our boy Kurt is not dead yet. He climbs out of the gravy pit and he's basically just a melted skeleton at this point, so I don't know how the hell he's still alive, but then I remembered that he's really that guy. So he's attacking Tyler, but Miss Perez saves the day and kills Kurt once and for all. And remember that pilgrim lady that Kurt and his girlfriend were talking about?
Abigail Brimston, one of the passengers on the Mayflower and coordinators of the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah, somehow she's still alive, so the masked killer boy gets her and runs away. But remember that gun from earlier, huh? The gun that they thought we would forget about? Lisa Marie takes it and shoots masked boy in the leg, which makes him drop pilgrim lady. Now our masked boy is pissed as hell, so he charges at Lisa Marie, but she ran out of ammo. So she goes to hide behind a tree, but somehow gets caught. Oh no, what's gonna happen to Lisa now? Then boom, Eddie's still alive and kills masked boy with a pitchfork. So now all the killers are dead and our victims have won and will live to see another day. The end. Yeah, that all happened. I had to watch that. So, is this a movie I would watch every year on Thanksgiving as a tradition? Probably not. But at the end of the day, it was still a fun watch and I got to share it with all of you guys. So, isn't that what Thanksgiving is all about? Not originally. No. Plus, it also serves as pretty detailed instruction on what not to do if you're a cannibalistic murderer. So any cannibals that happen to be watching this, it may be worth a watch for you. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. And if you happen to be watching this on Thanksgiving, thank you for choosing me over your family. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And if you're not watching this on Thanksgiving, then just pretend you are. I don't know. And before I go, this is your last chance. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel to be legally better than everybody else. Stay tuned for my next video where I run for president in 2024.